It is Saturday, October 7th, 2023. And I am. Alright. Uh, Dad's already taken off. He visited, went out for breakfast. And he left a few hours ago, I guess. You can probably hear that outside. Uh, so yeah, it was nice. He sat and talked for a bit. So, it was nice for him to visit. He went off and, well, before he came, he dropped off the family at the airport. That's somewhat nearby. So, means that I've done a lot more on this Saturday than I usually have. Well, I mean, I guess. I just spent like maybe an hour or two working on a clip from last night's stream. I did, in fact, stream last night. I think it was actually pretty fun. 2 hours, so I feel like that was my maximum in the past. Like back when I was like streaming Minecraft and stuff with my buddy. Um, because I would either be completely out of juice, or it would be like starting to feel my homework pressure come back. So we used to just do basically 2 hours or less. I'd start trying to wrap it up around like an hour and 50 minutes. But lately I've been like, I've said before on here, the day when I streamed or recorded for 7 hours in one day, that like unlocked some sort of something in my brain. Well, and also I graduated like the day after that, so but, or I guess not the day after, but 2 days after. It doesn't matter. But yeah, 3 hours was kind of becoming the norm. But now I've posted a couple 3 hour long streams and nobody's really been watching them. So maybe 2 hours is the sweet spot. I'm kind of experimenting. Like I said, like this week, I guess. I had a 3 hour stream that was up next to go up, but I split it in half into like 2 hour and a half streams. Um, and I don't know. I don't think the first one is doing necessarily well. I don't know. I guess just the streams aren't as popular as they were. I mean, like 30 views versus 5 views. There's a big difference there. But maybe I don't know. I haven't figured out how to do it yet, I guess. Don't know if that was just luck or unluck or what. So all I can do is continue posting what I have and continue recording new stuff. So uh, I'm probably gonna stream soon. Um, I guess. Might as well. Uh, I did some more on my cross stitching project. I did two colors this time. Uh, I did dark peach first and then normal peach. So you can see that there's some darker colors in there and some lighter in those new sections. So it's dark peach and the normal peach, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna do the peaches next. So first of all, you guys might have a clearer idea of what this is now. Um, and like I said, I encourage you to guess every time I show you. I did the I did the dark peach and then took a picture of it and quit. And then was like, this morning or this afternoon, I was like, well, I really want to do some more on it. So the really small colors, I might, or the colors where there's really not much, I might go ahead and do a couple I'm taking pictures after each color, and hopefully I'm showing them on the screen now. But or I did already. I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably, if there's small colors, I will probably just do a couple of them and not wait to show you guys after every color. The other interesting thing about the dark peach is that, according to the plan, I don't even know if you guys can see that. There's that one dark peach right there. Let's see that there, that one dark peach. Yeah, you can't even see it when you look further back, but that is completely by itself in the sea, in a sea of non-dark peaches. Um, and it kind of stands out from what is gonna be in the rest of the area, but uh, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually correct or not. I don't know how they make cross stitching patterns, so I don't really feel like I have what I need to like try to have editorial expertise or something, you know? Um, like with music, I kind of know how music is made and copied and stuff. So when I do music stuff, uh, I can usually make an informed decision as to whether something that looks weird is correct or not. But I don't know how they make cross stitching patterns, so I don't feel like I really have a good idea of what to, how to tell if that's a mistake or not. Um, the only thing I could think to do is look on the picture on the front of the package, which I did, and I can see that that is not that way in the sample picture. There, that color is not there in the sample picture. So I don't know. It looks kind of weird. It isn't that way in the sample, but it's possible that they just overlooked it and were like, "Yeah, nobody will notice if we just fill it in with something else," which is completely reasonable. Um, so I guess, long story short, that one stitch may be coming out at some point. I don't know. That's definitely not something I've decided yet. But that one stitch may be coming out. I don't. So I I really enjoy the detailed nature of cross stitching. Um, oh yeah, I can show you guys the back now of this so far. That's what that looks like. You can see if I hold that up there. I had some problems with. Oh, I guess it's on this side. It's kind of weird to look at this and have it not be mirrored. I guess I don't know. I'm just confused as to what side is what. It seems to me it's not mirrored. So what it seems like to me is that this should be my other finger that's moving. When I'm moving my right finger here, it feels like to me that the finger on the other side of the screen should be moving, and that gets me a lot when I'm like streaming and stuff, and I try to like fix my hair. I do it the wrong way because I expect it to be mirrored and it's not. So yeah, I guess it's slightly interesting. Maybe not very much, but so I was having problems with the dark peach. Um, like I guess I wasn't pulling it tight or something, uh, or if the thread is just less slippery. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Um, but like you can see there that well, kind of. There's a string that's kind of loose there. That's because it didn't pull all the way through and it just kind of looped around, and I didn't notice that um, until I looked back after I had already stitched most of it. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not changing that now. So, um, yeah, but yeah, there are some problems with like threads pulling weird and like knotting and stuff. So, But I mean, there's always problems with that in cross stitching projects. That's not an issue. It's just that for whatever reason, um, I was having problems with the dark peach. So the next two colors that I'm going to do the peach, or sorry, I did the dark peach and peach. Next, I'm going to do the light peach and the pale peach. The dark peach and the peach were both single yards, and there's not very many single yards in this. So yeah, there's not very much of them in this project. The light peach has 2 yards, and it's actually used a good amount throughout. I mean, a lot of the areas where I already have charcoal, there's a lot of light peach. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of that to do. I mean, not like a ton. There's not any outside. So there's a lot of the peach color in with the charcoal that I've already done, and in with the other peaches that I've already done. So I'm not going to be like treading new ground necessarily with it, but I figure I might as well do all the peaches at the same time. And then the pale peach is separate from everything else. It's more like by the red brown that we've already done. So the pale peach will not be directly in amongst the other stuff that we've done, which is kind of weird, but I mean, whatever. You'd think that, I mean, there is some white in the future. There will be some white around the peaches that we've already done, so you'd think that they would put some pale peach to kind of blend into the white, since they already are using it for something else. But like I said, I don't know how they make these, so I feel like any editorial decisions I make will have a chance to make things worse. So yeah. Anything else? I don't know. I am kind of enjoying doing cross stitching and watching YouTube videos instead of just like doing video games and watching YouTube videos at the same time. It feels like I'm not contributing to society, unless you count society as in me and anybody who lives in a house with me in the future when I get this done and get it framed. But I'm at least being productive, more so than just playing a video game. Unless you count a save file of a video game as being productive. And I'm sure my parents don't. I don't know. Nowadays, though, what does a cross stitching project do? It hangs on your wall and looks pretty. What does a save file do? It hangs out on your device and you can show your friends and they get impressed. It's I guess it's just a different hobby. In the past, maybe people would appreciate a cross-stitching project more than they would today, and definitely today, people appreciate video game save files uh, more than they would back when cross-stitching was a bigger deal. It's kind of funny. I was kind of thinking to myself, wow, they make these patterns really big. Like, they could like probably save some money or something by just shrinking it down, and it's big enough for me that I can read everything just fine if they shrunk it down. And then it's like, oh wait, I am definitely not the target a young man with good strong eyes is probably not the target demographic for cross stitching projects. I am probably very far away from the target demographic for cross stitching projects. But hey, I mean, I gave it a go, and I really enjoyed it. It's I have a great time cross stitching. If only I could get the project done that I've been working for the last 8 years or something on. That thing is a beast, though. you guys will definitely get to see it, assuming that I continue to record this. I have not ever given up on that project. I've just been taking long breaks. But I'm actually getting, I don't want to say I'm getting close to the end, but I'm 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 on the home stretch. I don't have that many colors left to do. The problem is that I left the biggest colors for last. So that means that the last color especially, well, I guess to give you a sense of scale for the project, I think there's like, okay, I don't know. I don't remember exactly. But I think there's like 40 yards of the last color. And the squares are smaller than on this project. So I don't know. I just don't know. And the thing is, I've gotten better at cross stitching from the beginning of that project to where I am now because I've learned during the project and doing other projects in the meantime during the breaks. So it's kind of a weird mix of like, well, if I started over, I could make a better product. But ain't no way I'm starting over that thing. No, not at all. I will not. No. I have been working on that for 8 years, and it wouldn't take me 8 years to get back. Well, maybe it would. Because I probably had a lot more free time at some points than I do now. Like, summer vacations and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of being rambly now. That kind of scared me. That didn't sound like what it actually sounded like. That instant where human brains are weird, and I guess I'm gonna get off on a different tangent even though I was about to end it. Uh, Human brains, well, the way that they process audio is really weird. You've had things where like you're talking with somebody and they say something and you don't quite get it, you don't quite understand, but then like your brain continues processing it until like you understand it, and then you're like, oh wait, no, never mind, I got it. Like you didn't hear anything in that processing time that helped you out. You know, you didn't hear some other thing that informed you of what they actually said or what they meant. But your brain just processes it and, figures it out. But it applied it back to what you heard, right? You don't remember, like, hearing it garbled. You remember hearing it as what they actually said. But you obviously didn't hear it and understand it at that point, because you asked them what it was. So your brain kind of implants a memory of what they actually said. And kind of, identified it, slapped words on it. So it's kind of weird when you realize your brain does that all the time. It's not just like when you don't understand something, your brain slaps meaning back onto something when you didn't understand it. The fact of the matter is that your brain always doesn't get it right away. But your brain always figures it out and slaps your memory back onto it. It's just that you don't notice that until you get in a situation where it's like, oh, I didn't know what you said, but then I figured it out. Because in that situation, your brain took a little longer than normal to process it. But like that sound there, I got concerned for a second because I didn't figure out what it was. But then as soon as I figured it out, the only evidence that I didn't know what it was the fact that I got concerned, Like, I don't know. I don't know. Usually I could come up with a different way to explain it that would make more sense. But it's just, yeah, it's weird how your brain doesn't know what anything sounds like until a second afterwards. But you don't realize that because it's happening all the time. And your brain just is like, oh, yeah, that's what I heard. You know? Your brain doesn't have any problems changing the memories that you had a second ago. So, I don't know. Brains are weird. Humans are weird. The world is weird. Everything's weird. Anyway, I think that's enough for today.